Okay, welcome back to another Drop Podcast episode. Um, Unfortunately, I could not get the live stream to work again, so we just had to let go of that. Dude, I just want to say, as a kid, I always dreamed of living in like a small little hut like this, or just like the idea of having like this little secret cozy hideout. Um, I think I've talked about this before, but like my favorite thing to do in Tony Hawk was just to find like a little secret spot to just hide. And I remember like as a kid, I used to we have these woods behind in my backyard, and I would go in there, and there was like one specific tree, and like I brought a box of sodas up there one time with one of my friends, and and we left it out up there. And I don't know, it was just supposed to be like our little secret hideout. Like I've always been kind of like a very like explorative. Like I liked to be free. I didn't want to be stuck anywhere, you know. And I think I talked about this before. Like I always hated going to like friends' houses and their parents wouldn't let them out in dark, or like I don't know, wouldn't let them go too far. That's why we always went to my crib. But I don't know. Eventually that changed. Like eventually I just started getting bored with the same thing, and so I do remember like there was a phase where like I didn't want like I wanted to go to everyone else's house, you know, just for something new. But my lemon water. Okay. So where am I headed? I need to go to the Let me go back. Think I'm supposed to get the swimming. He's supposed to put a check. Pretty sure that guy. Supposed to put a check on my screen, telling me that I need to go somewhere. Anyway, let's get into our 3 things that I'm thankful for. Dude, I had this really good bowl of chicken noodle soup today, and it was just like I don't know. It was exactly what I needed. So one thing I noticed is like the bones were like falling apart in the soup, and I'm not sure if like you're allowed to eat bones, but like I went for a bite and there was a bone in it, and I thought like, oh, it'll be hard and I'll just spit it out. But I took a bite of the bone, and it broke in my mouth. I was like, oh my gosh, it was almost like I don't know how to compare it to anything, like a cracker. It just like crumbled. Anyway, Temple of Droplets. Need to just read this real quick. You are first such a brave person standing on the clover in front of me. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm thankful for chicken noodle soup. Um, what else? Technology. Without technology, none of this would be possible. And just the fact, like I can create music. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of something very significant. Just the fact that like I'm just a person. You know what I mean? I don't even know what people did before this. Um, like I feel like we just have so much ability. Wow, I remember back in the day whenever doing this took a few hits. But what was I saying? Like nowadays we have so much opportunity. Like it's unbelievable that like I it's just I find it very 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 difficult to believe that no one can find something in life that will either make some cash, or like unless you just have no passions at all. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much opportunity and so much money to be made out there. every single citizen made is an opportunity earned. You know what I mean? So it's kind of unbelievable to me that anyone can say that like you have it hard. If you have Wi-Fi and technology, which is getting cheaper and cheaper by the day, I personally believe that you have opportunity. So unless like somehow you can't get that, I don't know. Well, I do feel like here's the one thing that I do feel is a major setback. The inability to uh receive receive but that's something. It's a really it's a tough thing because I feel like it's a cultural thing. Like we don't like we have this weird culture, and I think it stems from the lock key generation or Generation X, where um during like it was a time of psychology study when people believed that they kind of correlated in psychology. Like they noticed that people who were successful had really high self-esteem. And so the whole idea was, okay, well, if we never tear down a child's self-esteem, they'll never they'll be rich and successful. But and by the way, these aren't my words. I think, where am I getting this from? I think I read this in Keith Newber's book that he wrote with Dave Butler. I'll double check that for you guys. And by the way, hold me accountable for that stuff. Like if I ever say something, because sometimes I forget. Like I read so much and I study so much that like there's just so much up here. And I don't mean to take credit for anything. Like really anything I'll say, I'll just say right now, I do not deserve any credit for. Everything I've been inspired by somebody. I've been influenced by somebody. I study people. I research people every single day. I listen to like all these podcasts, and like I told you guys about my formula of like I'm very specific and particular about my time. Like I study French, and then I study psychology, or some form of psychology, some form of philosophy. Nothing is ever like it just like I said, everything is inspired. Nothing is out of my own genius or creativity, because really I'm not smart at all. Like I always talk about, like there's a difference between a smart person and a clever person, or there's a difference between someone who just knows facts and someone who's like genuinely intelligent and like an intellect. And I am just one of those people that I have a lot of information up here, and there's this thing. I heard this. I think Jordan Peterson said this. But he said, in like you can't really raise IQ, but what you can do is like someone will, like you can teach someone how to take a test. Like if someone's bad at math, you can teach them, or you can have them take one test, one math test, one algebra test over and over and over, and they'll get good at algebra, and they'll learn how to apply kind of what they learned from algebra to calculus, but their IQ doesn't get any higher. They don't become any more clever. They just know a pattern that they can then replicate. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't want to take any credit for anything. So on that note, I am thankful for like true intellects, like the people that did use their creativity to come up with these, really, really advanced ways of looking at the world that we just kind of take for granted now. Like the fact that someone had the mental capacity to organize our entire world into numbers, and then, I don't even have to say, how far we've gone from there. Like, there we go. Like, we are so blessed, and we don't even know. Jerk. Yeah, so I'm thankful for the real, intellects out there that did put in time and studied. So, oh, this is cool. I didn't know you could do this. That did put in all the time and studied, so that we can pretend like we like we're really smart. Yeah. I'm gonna do something because I want to achieve greatness. Wonder if I can go in here. Ooh, okay. Wow, that's cool. Let's see. So, I've been working on my book more. Okay, I need to concentrate real quick. Ice mechanics. Step that. Jump over here. So I've been working on my book, and I really think it's gaining like some really good direction. Like for a second, I wasn't sure like where to go with it. And then somehow I came across the idea like, oh, well, I should do like a program for people, like how to set goals. And I don't know if there's a market for it, but the information is really, really valuable, and I definitely think that that it's worth, so far, what I've done already. I think is worth a good number. I'm probably not gonna sell it, like maybe only like $50, depending on whatever. But I'm gonna try and sell my book at the end. I think the book I also want to. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Hold on. I need to focus on these ice mechanics. So the book is it's I want to shit, what was I saying? I want to sell that book with, at the very end, and I want to do an audio version of it too, but I'm not really sure like where to put the audio version. But for my last book, I didn't take it too seriously, and I think because like I had to do a whole bunch of like extra stuff, and it just wasn't long enough. Oh, I wanted to put it on Amazon, like FBA or something, but it just wasn't long enough for me to do that. But this time, like I really think like the way that I'm organizing this, it's not just like all the top of my head. Like it's really, really based on this program that I'm working on, and so I think there's a larger sort of grounding for this information that's gonna help me be able to kind of write more content, and like good content. Like it's not just gonna be like random nonsense. Like I already started writing it this morning actually, and then this week I'm working on the next part of the actual program itself. But as far as we're gonna learn a new skill. Wave blade, if you train, I'll teach you. So would you like to train your, yes. Dangerous technique, peril beam. First you must have, aw, dang. Okay. Technique for training. This is cool. This game is really cool. I didn't know. I didn't know this game had stuff kind of like how in the video game The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, how you can learn different like skills. Um, like I didn't know that this game also had that, where you can like learn different skills and upgrade your game level. I wonder why they had this here. Oh, cool. Um, I wonder if this is what? Come on. No. Why doesn't it let me? Okay. Alright, chill. Um. Okay. Let's go. Oh shoot! I was on to something really good, and then I started talking about the game. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm working on my program. I set for these next, like, the whole month of October. The program isn't gonna come out, but the whole month of October. Hold on, I need to read this real quick. I'll never tell you where it is. I'm gonna fuse a keystone in a minute. I'll tell you. Okay. So the whole month of October is gonna be solely focused on just kind of writing my book and creating that program. And of course, I'm also making music. My lemon water. Yeah, like I said, of course, I'm also making music. But I really want to like hone in everything. Like everything I do, I just want solely just prioritize, because I want this program to be like one of the best things I've ever created. You know. And I really, really think that it can be. Like I've never like, I've known that you could sell like information before, but I wasn't really sure like how I would do that. The heck. I just didn't think I had anything to give. But like this is the first time that I can confidently say like I am certain of my knowledge in this area. Like I know for sure that this is something that I have value in, that I can give, and that will really help people if they if they take it. You know what I mean? That's the other part of it. Like, how do I sell it? You know what I mean? How do I get people to want it? And I actually took I was listening to Dean Graziosi today, and he was talking about how he sells things, and he mentioned something really good. It was like the first thing he does is listens, and I mean that's a given. So he listens first, and he tries to find out people's fears, their goals, and shoot, what was it? Fears, goals. There's so many hearts. Fears, goals. Drawn a blank. Shoot, I don't know. But he, oh shoot, got me again. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I didn't. Wow. Okay. Okay. I didn't need him. Whatever. So yeah, knowing people's fears, their goals, and their whatever, I give up. I need to get out of here. Goodness. all these things are just trying to kill me. But it had me thinking, like, how would you do that over the internet, though? Because that's more of, like, a conversation piece. Oh, another thing that I said was really good, though, is he says, like, if people don't even have, like, an ambition or, like, a goal, he won't even work with them. Because to him, it's like, okay, well, if you don't really have a purpose, then what are we doing here? Like, why am I trying to sell you if you don't have a reason why you're even doing this? I think it's really good because one thing that I always hear is, like, it's always good to be, like, very, very particular about who you're selling to, and especially in real estate that they talked about in the Bigger Pockets a lot is knowing your customer, or like knowing like specifically like what deals that you do and not even bothering with the rest. Kind of like just don't waste your time. And I always thought that was really good, and I guess that I didn't really think of it at the time, but I guess it also relates with goal setting. I mean, not with goal setting. What am I saying? With selling just in general. Which what's his face is focused on? My man, whatever his name was. Dean Graziosi, of course. Oh, we didn't go over here. Missed this place. See, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, because I'm making this, and I know the information is valuable. Oh, here's what I was saying. Like, I know that I can sell this. Or, I don't know that I can sell this, but I know that this is something that's good, that is worth people's money, but it's kind of like, you can't just, say it's worth people's money. Like, it has to be, I love whenever they do this. They put the dungeon right in front of you. But I don't like ice. Okay. Yeah, like, I can't just, like, I have to learn how to sell over the internet, which, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably look into that as, like, time goes on. Because I know Dean Grazios, he probably has something to say about that. And actually, that's good that, this is a perfect example of, how you should approach things. Like, I know what my problem is. I know what I need to research, what I need to look into. So I'm already a step ahead. If you know your problem, then you know that you need to, or you know what you need to look for to find your solution. That's a good quote right there. If you know your problem, then you know what you need to look for to find your solution. And then that's kind of where, like, my setting goals steps into. I wonder what this does. This game is so awesome. So I did this Bible study, and I went to this Bible study on, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I was invited to a Bible study, obviously, and I went on Sunday, and it was like we looked at the book of James. If you're Christian, you know what I'm talking about, but the book of James is supposed to be, I don't know, Jesus' brother, or like his cousin, or I mean, there's a debate over it, like whether Mary was perpetually a virgin, or if she gave birth to children following Jesus. and there was some other stuff, and there's a lot of interesting arguments to be made. I think, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, and I say that because, well, I don't think anyone knows. I think it's just one of those things that, like, you can't really know, right? Like, it's it's always gonna be something that, I mean, it's a faith, and one thing that I always say is faith is called faith, and it's not called a fact for a reason, and that doesn't mean it's not a fact, but it means that, you simply don't know. It's one of the greatest questions. Oh shoot. But I think we have this thing where it's like we feel like we have to know so badly. Huh. Is this temple already almost over? There must be like 2 parts to it. I don't get why you would have to turn that off though. Oh, you probably have to turn it off so that you can get one of the blocks right there. Okay, so I see where I want it. But anyway, so I went, and I mean, as usual, like, I think all the information is like really good. Like, the Bible has a lot of wisdom. But at the same time, I feel like you would kind of expect it to. Um, I feel like it should have a lot of wisdom. It's like decades old. But what do we do with this? Messed up. Okay. Yeah, it's decades old. But it's also one of those things where, like, it's got really good stuff, but there's also, like, extra stuff added to it. Like, it feels like it goes just like one step too far sometimes. And what I mean by that is, there was some section, I think, that was said something about, oh shoot, messed up again. Said something about how James, I think he was talking about, it was like the first chapter of James, and he was talking about how you should, or how, I think it was like, life is challenges. Oh yeah, this was it. So he was talking about how, like, life presents you with challenges, and you should see those challenges as blessings, like opportunities to learn and grow, and be grateful. But whenever I say that, it takes that extra step, is it also said, also brought up that, I think I went too fast. So I did that. Oh no, I didn't. It was perfect. But then it takes that extra step, and it says, so it says you should see them, like, these experiences as blessings. Then it took that extra step and said, like, this is God challenging, like, testing your faith. And I don't know, that's my one thing that I'm not sure about, like, I don't necessarily, like, I mean, I've said this before. I'm more agnostic, but just that whole idea that God is involved is weird to me, because I don't see it. And I also believe in free will, and I don't understand how there can be free will. Like, the biggest thing that people talk about is like God has a plan for you, But I feel like that's kind of just like a comfort thing, or it's one of those things, like, it sounds right. It sounds like, you should say it. You know what I mean? Um, it's like calling a king his majesty, Like, king probably didn't even care, but the first guy was probably, like, the first guy who said it was probably like, oh, he's going to love it if I say that. He's going to love me, Dude, this dungeon is really cool. I like this idea. I don't know what that thing is, but I like this idea. But I hate these flying pots. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's one of those things, and I'm not necessarily saying like that God isn't involved. I just don't understand, stuff like, they say God has a plan, and if you're not following His plan, well, your life isn't gonna work out. It just confuses me whenever things like really bad things happen, like war. Like, I don't think war was part of anyone's plan. And if you knew these people in specific, like, I feel like the reason why we can still think that there was like that there's some form of like divine intervention in our lives is because we don't really know these people as individuals, but rather we know these people as statistics. Like, you know what they say, one person dies is a tragedy, a bunch of people die, it's a statistic. But if we knew the story of every single person who died in these wars, like, I think we would sort of understand that, it's hard to, it's just hard to think that, what happened to their plan, was that all part of God's plan for them, and if it was, then what makes the horrible tragedies that were acted on wrong? I feel like it gets more complicated. It doesn't seem so straight and forward. It doesn't seem so easy as God's in control of everything, and also no one asks like why. Why does God care? You know what I mean? Like, what is the point? If he wants us all in heaven, why doesn't He just put us in heaven? And why did He give us the choices in the first place? And what is free will if God knows, if God has a plan, I guess the right to choose the plan. I don't know. But I mean, those are all the things. Like I said, I mean, there's always, like, I love religion because it's great to have a discipline and a practice, and there's also really, really good lessons in them. Like, despite the small nitty gritty stuff, like, it is a good message to think like, okay, this tragedy happened. What can I learn from this, right? Like, how can I turn this into a good thing? Wait, hold on. The way forward is hidden in the pot, hidden in the bottom of a pot. Okay. Way forward is hidden in the bottom of a pot. This looks like a pot. You know what's interesting about this? So now I'm looking at like rocks that are designed kind of like a pot. How do I even know that? It's a design of it. You know what I mean? It's a symbol. Just somehow I can see that it represents a pot, but it has nothing to do with the pot. It's like if you look at if you ask someone to draw you a picture of a house and they draw like a square and a triangle, no house ever looks just like a square and a triangle. But it's interesting that we make these symbols that represent these things. You know, like the fact that I saw that was a pot and it was just squares placed in some sort of way. That's fascinating. That's, to me, that shows some kind of, intelligence, some kind of genius of humans in general. Like whenever you look at it this way, it's not genius because everyone can do it. Whenever you think about the fact that we're humans and we can do that, whenever you look at it in that way, like whenever you change your perspective, then it's kind of incredible, So that's another interesting thing. Like whenever you look at things in a group perspective, like as a collectivistic type of way, it's nothing, like nothing's ever that cool and nothing's ever as important. But whenever you look at it more on an individual level, now it's like fascinating. Or wait, well, I guess not. I guess it's the other way around for this example. Huh. I don't know. No. It is true because if you look at it from the collective example, like our viewpoint, everyone can, recognize these symbols except for people who don't have, I think that's like the difference between people with Down syndrome or something like that, or whatever mental disability, or maybe ability, I don't know, who knows, but something where they don't work like the average person. But yeah, I'm not sure. Should I should hit him. Gotta do that. Oh, shoot, missed it. Okay, I hate that design. It's so annoying. Yeah, but then you look at it as like just the fact that we can do that. Like every single, like even though if you look at it like, oh, everyone can do that, but if you think about like a human can do that, now it's kind of interesting, right? There we go. You know what else is kind of cool? Just like designing these dungeons. Like think about how much time went into all this. Alright guys, my throat is starting to hurt again. So I think just like I rap. Whenever I rap at work and like work on my bars, my lyricism, I whisper. And it's a really bad habit. Like whenever I notice it I stop, but I still whisper. And also whenever I'm with people I talk really loud. Something I need to work on, but so I'm gonna go ahead close this out. So this was the Drop Podcast. Sorry it's not live again, but next time hopefully it will be. But anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, and if you like it and you feel like it kind of has some value in it, feel free to share. It's just the Drop Podcast, and you can find it pretty much on any podcasting site. And if you want to support, I do have a Patreon. You can check that out on my website at joshuatbryan.com. Or you can go to my Instagram at joshuatbryan64, where then you can find my website in the bio. But that's just if you want to. Really, I enjoy making these, and it's not that big of a deal. Like,